Hello and welcome back to our 8-step video series on how to prepare for your PMP exam. I am Cornelius Fichtner. This is step 2, in which we are taking you through the complete exam application process from start to finish and give you some of our best practices in regards to how to fill in the actual PMP exam application form. So, in step 1 of this video series, we have shown you the eligibility criteria, and in the meantime, you have probably determined I am eligible to take the PMP exam. So this means that the next step here is to fill out your PMP exam application. And this turns out to be a big impediment for many aspiring PMPs, filling out this 9-page application. Although the application is straightforward, it requires you to convey a lot of detailed information about your project management experience. It's a project in itself, because you have to gather all of this information for projects that you may have worked on years ago. So many people who start out filling in the application, they never finish it, and thus their hopes of earning the PMP credential, they are crushed before they even get to the exam room. In this video, therefore, you'll learn how the application process works and about its various steps. You'll also get some tools and learn some best practices that will help you fill out the application effectively and efficiently. The first thing you have to do is obviously fill out the application. My number one recommendation here is don't procrastinate. Filling out the application and paying the currently $405 application fee is a great motivator, and it will keep you focused on your goal, earning your PMP certification. After all, you've just paid $405 for this. It is a fantastic motivator. Yes, the application is available in a printable form, but I recommend fill in the application online. It's easy, it's convenient. You have 90 days to complete the application from the moment you start, and you can save what you have written between sessions. The application is broken into 3 major sections. Section 1 includes your contact information, your educational background, and also the industry that you work in. Section 2 will take up most of your time because you will need to provide detailed information about all the projects that you have worked on. For each project, you have to document your title, the organization for whom you worked on this project, your primary contact, describe some detailed tasks that you led and directed, and the number of experience hours that you gained during project initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, as well as closing. So you can see this is a lot of information that you have to find for each of these projects. As you can imagine, and as I have said before, collecting all of this information can take a lot of time, and it's sometimes a project in itself. So here is my best practice for filling in section 2 of the application. Begin by collecting the information offline. Use our experience verification worksheet for this. This is an Excel-based worksheet that allows you to go and gather all the information first to make sure that you have everything before you start filling it in the PMI application. Simply go to pmprepcast.com and in the search box look for Experience Verification Worksheet. In comparison, section 3 is relatively easy to fill in, because all that you have to do here is you have to fill in that you do have the required 35 contact hours that you have spent in receiving training on project management related topics. Before you can go ahead and click the Submit button on your application, you must read and you have to agree to the Project Management Institute's Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. This, on the application itself, is just a small box that you have to check, but it is very important. By ticking this box, you agree that going forward, you will manage your project in accordance with the very high ethical standards that are laid out in this code. You can find the Code of Ethics in the PMP Credentials Handbook that you can download from the PMI.org website. Once you have clicked the Submit button, PMI will take some time to perform an application completeness review. This review can take up to 5 days, during which PMI ensures that everything in your application looks right. Once the review is completed, PMI will send you an email and let you know that you can now go ahead and pay the exam fee. You cannot schedule the exam until you have paid the fee. You can submit the payment online and at the same time select your examination delivery method, which means most people will select that they will take a computer-based exam. You can request some language translation aids if you need them, and if you have a handicap, you can request special accommodations. Once you have paid the application fee, there is one more thing that might happen. Your application might be selected for a random audit. PMI tries to keep the quality of the PMP exam high and ensures that only qualifying candidates take the exam. That's why we have random audits. If your application is indeed selected for such a random audit, you will be notified via email, and now you have 90 days to send in all your audit materials. For instance, you'll have to provide copies of your training certificates to show that you do have indeed the 35 required contact hours. Once PMI receives all the material that you send into them, it takes them about 5 to 7 days to review and process it. This random audit is really nothing to worry about as long as you are prepared for it, and you should prepare for it while you are gathering the information for your application and while you are filling in the information into the actual form. My best practice number 1 here is maintain a folder with all your documents that support the work that you did on each and every project that you list in your application, whether those documents are emails, project plans, meeting minutes, or project charters. This one here should be obvious, but as you are filling in your PMP exam application, be honest about your project management experience. Don't embellish it, because if you do, the PMI will find out during the audit that you have stretched the truth. And they do that by requiring that you contact each and every one of your contact persons that you have listed. And for the audit, PMI will give you a form that you have to get signed by each of your contact persons to confirm that the information on your application is indeed accurate. Therefore, I recommend the following. Get in touch with all of your contact persons before you submit your application and ask them to tell you if they agree with what you have written in the application about a given project. In this way, you can make sure that they will back up whatever you record on your application if the Project Management Institute selects you for a random audit. After your application has passed the completeness verification, you have paid the credential fee, you've gone through a possible random audit, the PMI will send you an email informing you that you are now eligible to schedule your exam. From this moment, you have 1 year to take your test, and you can take the exam 2 more times should you not pass the first time. The PMP exam is administered by Prometric. This is a provider of testing services around the world. So you will have to go to the Prometric website, which is prometric.com/ PMI. On this website, simply locate the Prometric office that is closest to your hometown and find an available date that fits your schedule. Some of these offices, they are very busy because they don't only do the PMP exam, they do dozens and dozens of exams around the world. You may have to wait for weeks or maybe even months to take your exam. Scheduling your exam well in advance not only guarantees that you have a seat, it also puts a big red X on your calendar, and that is a great motivator for you to keep studying, because you know, my exam is in 4 weeks, it's in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, in 1 week, it's tomorrow. And with that, we have come to the end of step 2. I will see you again in step 3, when together we will build a PMP exam study plan. Until next time.